Glad you could make time for us here on News Tonight. My name is Musa Salah, standing in for Abubakar Abdullahi. We have a lot lined up for you, but first, let's take a look at the top stories making headlines tonight. Welcome to the broadcast. Anne Wairimu is our sign language interpreter. News Tonight begins right now. A 75-year-old man is being held by detectives in Nyeri in connection with the murder of his 32-year-old son, Daniel Mwangi Wangondo. Detectives allege Stephen Wangondo offered 160,000 shillings for his son Mwangi to be eliminated. But perpetrators rather of his murder are said to be his close friends, with one being a driver to his father for many years. Mwangi Maina now reports.
Daniel Mwangi Wangondo, a 32-year-old businessman and a father of two, was found murdered outside his home in Wendiga village of Mwega in Nyeri County on the morning of 1st January this year. He was buried on 6th January, raising many questions on the motives behind his gruesome murder and the perpetrators behind this heinous act. After almost 2 months of investigations, detectives from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations have unraveled the mystery behind Mwangi's murder. The detectives linking Mwangi's father with the murder of his own blood, allegedly carried out by his 3 of his best friends in cold blood. Mwangi's murder was orchestrated after he fell out with his father following a family feud. Youths and residents of Mwega held demonstrations to demand justice for Mwangi after his father and 4 others were arrested and presented to a Nyeri court on Monday.
Justice for Mwangi. Sisi hatuna uwezo, hatuna pesa, lakini Mwangi tulikuwa tunampenda kama rafiki yetu.
Tomorrow we are appealing to the government and to the judiciary not to grant him bail, because when he is granted that bail, he will be a threat to the community, and our security will be threatened.
Without 1 month imeenda chini, hatujaona mtu ameshikwa, but to hear the father participated in this, it really, to us, it's so painful to lose a friend. For me, he was a friend and a customer, and I feel, even today, I feel the loss of Mwangi in my life.
According to the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, the breakthrough on Mwangi's murder was realized after the first suspect, James Mahinda Mwangi, driver to the deceased father, was traced to Nairobi's Githurai area and pounced. It was after interrogation he led detectives to Embu at Makatani area, where 2 more suspects, friends to the late Mwangi, were arrested. Detectives established that the 3 long-time bloody buddies were hired by Stephen Wangondo to murder his own son. The cost of Mwangi's murder was 160,000 Kenya shillings. With the help of a lady identified as Charity Mushiri, the 3 waylaid Mwangi on his way home from a New Year celebration party just outside his home, struck, killed, and left him in a pool of blood. A manhunt has been launched for a 6th suspect identified as Raphael Washira, who is at large and is believed to have aided the suspects who purchased a murder weapon at a hardware in Mwega. The 5 suspects, including his father Stephen Wangondo Kenini, will be presented at the Nyeri Law Courts Friday. Mwangi Maina, TV 47, Nairobi.
Now, a man from Kipsereman area in Baringo County was allegedly murdered with a machete when he claimed his balance after consuming illicit brew at a local Changa den. According to the village elders, efforts to involve police to weed out illicit brew in the area have failed, as Nanok Lauren now reports.
In Kipsereman area, Baringo County, is a village mourning one of their own after he succumbed to machete cuts on his neck, ear and legs. Before he met his death, Kibor had demanded for his balance after consuming illicit brew at a local Changa den. The suspect, known as Mama Chemeli, fled and later surrendered herself to police officers.
Nilisikia uchungu sana. Brother wangu aliuliwa kinyama.
Kupika tu kwa kona hivi, chenye tulitushutia ilikuwa ni ndugu yetu ambaye anaitwa Kiporo. Tukaona damu imetapakaa kila mahali na kijana amelala chini. Amekatwa shingo mara mbili na mguu. Alikatwa kabisa. Sasa hapo mayo ikaanza, sasa watu wakaanza kulia, wakasema nini? Huyu mama ako wapi? Tukatafuta huyo mama. Kumbe huyo mama alikuwa ameepa. Alipita msituni akijipeleka kwa police station. Kijana macho yako tu ilikuwa na bling bling. Angesaidika kabisa. So kijana alienda tu hivyo hivyo.
Following the incident, residents raided the suspect's house where they discovered drums of illicit brew and immediately brought it to ashes. According to the village elder, efforts to arrest illicit brew sellers in the area have since fallen onto deaf ears, despite several reports being made.
Tuliona huyu mama akitengeneza janga. Sasa tukapiga report kwa division. Division hakuchukua kitu haraka sana. Mpaka wakati hii mambo naharibika. Changamoto yetu ni mambo ya pombe. Tumeona hakuna usaidizi. Tukipiga report hakuna hatua yote serikali inachukua.
Killings linked to drug and substance abuse have been rampant in the area. Residents have called on local authorities to rise and take legal action against the perpetrators. Nanok Lauren, TV 47.
Well, quite a sad story there. Now, Parliament has received certificates and approvals of the Constitutional Amendment Bill from at least 30 county assemblies. National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi says the House Business Committee is set to meet from tomorrow ahead of a debate any time next week. Elizabeth Mutuku reports.
Parliament has received the copies of Constitutional Amendment Draft Bill and certificates of approval from at least 30 counties. National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi says the House Business Committee will meet from tomorrow ahead of consideration by Parliament from next week.
Honourable members, with respect to the deadlines, a simple calculation reveals that 14 other county assemblies are yet to deliver the draft bill to the speakers of the House of Parliament with a certificate indicating either the approval or rejection of the bill.
Senate Speaker Kenneth Lusaka has also confirmed receipt of copies, with bill expected to be published in at least 2 local dailies and the Kenya Gazette.
We have resolved to commence the process of consideration of the bill in Parliament without further delay, in accordance with the Constitution and the standing orders of the respective houses. Honorable Senators, in this regard, I hereby direct the clerk to publish at the appropriate time the following information in at least 2 newspapers of national circulation and in the Gazette for general information of the public.
However, Baringo County Assembly presented the certificates without draft bill as required. County assemblies of Kwale and Nyamira also presenting incomplete documents, but the House is open for 3 to present the proper documents.
However, note, honourable members, that the County Assembly only submitted a certificate of rejection and failed to submit a copy of the draft bill as required under the guidelines. It may not therefore be possible to know what they rejected. C. Kwale County Assembly submitted a certificate of approval but failed to submit a copy of the draft bill that was considered by the Assembly, again making it not possible for us to determine what they approved.
National Assembly Majority Leader Amos Kimunya says the debating and passing of the bill in the House might not take more than 3 weeks.
This is the first time we are doing a bill. We're discussing a constitutional amendment bill through the popular initiative pursuant to the provisions of Article 255, 256, 257 of the Constitution. So it's a new experience even for Parliament, and hence the 2 speakers are consulting widely in terms of how we take it forward. It's not like the other ordinary bills that we do first reading, second reading, third reading, and continue in accordance with our standing orders.
Kimunya further dismissing fears of funding of a referendum which is likely to be held mid this year.
We must provide resources for the referendum. Now, if the referendum is in May, we must provide those resources in May, right? If the referendum is in July, we can provide that in the next budget, right? But the bottom line is the resources will have to be provided. It's a constitutional right of the 3 million Kenyans who have put their signature to the BBI bill.
Parliament having received the BBI draft bill from at least 30 counties now, the Parliament is expected to take at least 3 weeks to debate and pass the bill before forwarding it to President Uhuru Kenyatta. Elizabeth Motuko, TV47 Parliament Buildings, Nairobi.
Well, still matters politics and the BBI, the County Assembly of Nandi is the second county to reject the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020 after Baringo rejected the bill last week. However, reggae is not stopping, at least according to President Uhuru Kenyatta and his handshake partner Raila Odinga. A joint consultative meeting of the national and county leaders is set to be held early next month, as Joash Onsare now reports.
Nandi County becomes the second county assembly to reject the BBI reggae. 23 members of the assembly voted against the constitutional amendment bill, while 13 members voted for the bill.
13 of the elected members are in support of the bill. 23 are against the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill. Therefore, honorable members, the bill fails at the County Assembly of Nandi.
Nandi's move coming a week after Baringo MCS rejected the bill. So far, 41 county assemblies have adopted the bill, with 4 yet to debate it. The 4 include Elgeyo Marakwet, Uasin Gishu, Kilifi, and Mandera, which are set to debate the bill in the coming days. Nandi is perceived as Deputy President William Ruto's stronghold. DP Ruto, through his allies, have been opposing the Constitutional Amendment Bill.
Tunashukuru Mungu leo hii kwa sababu jambo ambalo tumengoja kwa muda mrefu sana tumemaliza leo. Na nataka niseme ya kwamba tulienda kulingana na vile raia walisema. Walituambia angusha hii kitu, na sisi tumefanya hivyo kwa sababu tunajua huu ni muziko kwa watu wetu kule mashinani.
As an assembly, we took this part knowing very well that a majority of the county assemblies voted yes for the BBI, but because we are saying in times like this is where leadership is shown, because we are saying we must do this so that the Kenyan leadership can bend back and say what is that the people of Nandi saw it fit to reject this BBI as opposed to accepting it.
President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM boss Raila Odinga are scheduled to launch a BBI campaign timeline next week. The two have met ANC's Musalia Mudavadi, Wiper's Kalonzo Musyoka, Moses Wetangula of Ford Kenya, KANU Chairman Gideon Moi, and Kitui Governor Charity Ngelo in State House Thursday. A joint consultative meeting involving the leadership of members of parliament and counties will take place next week.
Today, on behalf of a grateful nation, we convey our immense gratitude to all our county assemblies for their monumental support for this popular initiative. And to this end, we shall hold a consultative meeting on Tuesday, 9th March, involving members of parliament and the county leadership.
In Baringo, MCAs are still on disagreement following the move by the County Assembly to reject the bill. Members of the County Assembly allied to Area Senator Gideon Moi are insisting that members of the public were not involved in the process.
Tuna haibu. Nimeweza kuongea na MCAs members wetu na wamebaki kwamba walitekeleza jukumu lao ipasavyo na hawana aibu kwamba wangefanya tofauti.
Sioni maana ya watu kuongea mengi ya nini, na tumemaliza. Baringo wamevote BBI chini, wameangusha. Senator wa Baringo hata hatujui jamaa. Tunaonanga akizunguka akiuza sera za BBI. Akiuza huko nje hata counties hajakanyaga Baringo. So sisi hapa kwa kulingana maoni ya wananchi, sisi tuliweza kutekeleza maoni ya wananchi.
BBI Secretariat is anticipating a referendum on or before June this year. Joash Onsare, TV 47.
Well, TV 47's News Tonight takes a short commercial break, but we'll be back with more. Remember, you can follow this live broadcast on www.tv47.co.ke.
They say the way to the heart is through the stomach. This month of love, Throwdown shares with you those amazing food ideas for that candlelit dinner and picnic date. Learn those dining etiquette and avoid those embarrassing moments every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. What's the perfect way to kickstart your day in the morning? Well, apart from having a healthy breakfast, the Morning Cafe is all you need. We will inform you on what's happening on the roads, dive deeper into the newspapers, alongside heated political debates.
What I have to fight the order. Yes. Order.
Did you know that your greatest wealth is health?
Then we start eating right, and that's what I do in my clinic.
With some good Friday vibes. The Morning Cafe with Linda Alela, Monday to Friday, from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Only on TV 47. On the grind, we bring you different entrepreneurs who give the story of their businesses with love and passion.
I'm a musician forever. This is something that is inborn.
It excites me each day. It's a field that has always excited me.
Because when you show love to your business, it will show love to you.
The most rewarding bit of being a photographer is seeing a bride able to see her images of her wedding and evoke emotion in her and just relive the moment once again.
Get to hear these stories and so much more every Monday at 7:30 p.m. On Coffee with Movie, we bring you great testimonies from amazing personalities.
Wa kwanza alikaa ndani ilikuwa intense. Cause alikuwa, yalikuwa atafuta place atawaka akifanya thesis zake.
Stories that will inspire and encourage you.
Hiyo kitu ilisha waswali clap. Sheila told us this is what we've been looking for.
And some that will even make you laugh out loud.
You have chapa kawa ya kutuliza temperature kabla hiyo story.
Na wewe hukuleta mandazi bro.
Mbona ingeandikwa coffee and mandazi?
Aya! Make sure you catch the episodes of Coffee with Movie every Sunday at 8 p.m. Love is friendship that has caught fire. It is the month of love.
When you're loved truly, every grain of your personality changes.
Ooh. A great time to add more fire to your love life.
Why not have a journey before the climax rather than always thinking about the climax?
With great insights from our panelists.
It ought to start during.
You are watching TV 47, the home of untold stories.
Welcome back. You're watching News Tonight. Striking nurses from the Moi County Referral Hospital in Taita Taveta were this morning turned away after their strike was officially called off yesterday following a court order by Lady Justice Maureen Onyango. And as Zainab Mohammed now reports, the nurses have now been left stranded with no one to turn to.
I therefore, with the powers conferred to me, I declare the ongoing strike as officially called off.
Barely a day after the Kenya National Union of Nurses called off the nationwide nurses strike, a crisis is looming in most hospitals across the country as many counties had replaced the striking nurses by employing new health workers. Solidarity forever. In Moi County Referral Hospital, nurses who were on strike reported to work early Thursday morning as directed by the court, only to be turned away.
Mimi nafanya kazi Moi Hospital Maternity na nimeenda pale asubuhi saa 1:30 ili kuanza kuhudumia wagonjwa wangu. Lakini kufika kwa gate ile ya maternity, askari wale wako pale wakasema wale wahudumu wote ambao wamekuwa kwa mgomo tumepatiwa ruhusa kwamba tusiwaruhusu waingie ndani.
The nurses, just like their colleagues in various counties across the country, have now been left stranded with no one to turn to, with the employers seemingly ignoring the labor court order that dismissed the firing of striking health workers.
Sasa mimi niliposikia hivyo, nikaenda kwa nursing officer in charge wangu, akaniambia hata yeye anashangaa. Kwa hivyo mimi tukarudi na wenzangu, tukaamua tutafute union leaders wetu, tuwaeleze hilo jambo.
The nationwide nurses strike was called off on Wednesday after over 70 days. Zainab Mohammed, TV47.
Now, over 500 families in Nakuru's Milimani West estate are living in fear after the Kenya Prison Service threatened to reclaim land which they say belongs to them. The prison officers descended on the 70-acre estate earlier in the week, threatening to bring down all the structures on the land.
The land, a 70-acre piece of land that is now a tussle between the Kenya prisons in Nakuru and area investors in Milimani area. The investors say the prison's officers drew huge marks on private homes, rental high-rise buildings and businesses, sending panic among the residents.
Tunajiuliza, miaka 20 tumekuwa hapa, hatujawahi kuona hawa watu, hajawahi kuja kutuambia tuko katika sehemu yao. Imekuwaje tu jana tu ndio walikuja kufanya hiyo jambo.
Polisi nimekuwa na kesi na some of the people within kwa ajili ya haya mashamba. Lakini hatukuwa tunachulia ya kwamba itaweza kufikia mahali alama ya X inaweza kuwekwa.
This threat comes barely 4 months after the Kenya Railways Corporation brought down property worth hundreds of millions of shillings along Nakuru's Geoffrey Kamau Way. And now these investors fear that the same fate was about to fall upon them, citing that they had already started losing tenants due to the rising fears by residents of losing their belongings.
We have gone to court and we are going to seek legal redress. We had tenants in our investment, in our buildings, and some of them have run away.
They should not ever again. Sababu kuna watu wengi walikuwa wagonjwa jana hapa. Hata wengine wako hospitali. Sababu ya hiyo interference. You can imagine mtu ameweka investment kama hii ni shilingi ngapi? Hii shilingi 2. Alafu unaambiwa simamisha. Na hata ukiangalia pale wameweka X. Huyu mtu amechukua loan. What do you expect?
They now want an amicable solution to their current predicament, citing that millions had already been put into developing the area and the government look into why the land was sold out in the first place. Ruth Mulandi, TV47.
Residents of Kironito in Kajiado County have protested the construction of wind turbines by local power giant Kipeto Energy in the area. The locals claim that the project will have adverse effects on their health, but according to Kipeto, the project will benefit the locals, with the villagers now claiming that they were not involved in the project.
Kipeto ama kiongozi yeyote wa hapa ama wa community yeyote hawajawahi kuja kutueleza hizi turbines zina ubaya gani kwa jamii ama zitakuwa na uzuri gani, na saa hii sisi tunaishi kwa hofu kwamba hizi turbines zitakuja kuwa na madhara kwa sisi.
Tumesikia sana madhara ya hizi turbines. Kuwa itakuja kuleta madhara kwa mama, kusababisha mimba ya kina mama na pia mimba kwa wanyama zetu. Na sisi kama community tumesema hatutaki project hiyo.
Inahuzunisha sana kwa sababu ya kwanza hatuna mashamba kule Kilonito. Hakuna shamba yoyote yenye tunatumia kama Kipeto Energy, lakini ile kitu ilifika kule ni kitu inaitwa community trust, proposed community trust. Proposed community trust ni kwamba kampuni walionelea watoe 5% ya faida yao kupatia wananchi wajisaidie, wajenge shule, wajenge barabara, watengeneze barabara, wapeane basari. Na kwa sasa ni kwamba hiyo community trust, proposed community trust si ati imeanza kazi. Ni tuko kwa ile stage ya kuelimisha, inaitwa awareness and consultation stage.
Wamekuja kutudanganya kwamba tukubali kitu ambayo inaitwa trust, ambaye tumegundua ni kwamba itakuja kuiba mashamba yetu, na hiyo pia tumesema kama community hatutaki.
For the past 3.5 weeks, Virginia Adhiambo and her quadruplets have been forced to get accustomed to their new surroundings at the Nairobi South Hospital. Their stay in the facility could even prove longer if they are unable to offset an accumulative medical bill of 4 million shillings following her delivery on the 1st of this month. The family of the 25-year-old mother is now appealing to well-wishers to come to their aid, as David Mudhoka reports.
It is at the Nairobi South Hospital in South C, Nairobi, where 25-year-old Virginia Adhiambo and her quadruplets have been stranded for the past 3.5 weeks. What seemed as a routine walk-in, walk-out delivery has since turned to be longer than anticipated after the new mother gave birth to her 4 sons, Jack Tudor Charles, Teddy Tadara Charles, Mika Charles and Malik Charles on 1st February. The hospital has put on hold their discharge until Adhiambo offsets her medical bill that has accumulated to over 4 million shillings as of Wednesday this week. The bill skyrocketed soon after Adhiambo delivered through cesarean section. Her babies that had been born preterm had to be kept in incubators, while at the same time, Adhiambo developed other complications in the aftermath that saw her go under the knife for the second time in under 2 weeks.
At a point, she even gave up, told me, Dad, I'm giving up. I told her, no, it's too early. You cannot, we are playing hard. We need you. Your boys need you.
According to Adhiambo's husband, Charles Chalo, the family has so far managed to raise 500,000 shillings from the family savings, relatives and friends. He is appealing to well-wishers for help, citing how his family is still in the shadows of a rough patch.
She has undergone 4 surgeries before she conceived. That is... she had an ovarian cyst, and it's not easy. Something which is painful for the ladies who have ever had that.
His attempts to come to an amicable agreement with the hospital's management on how to clear the bill have severally hit a dead end, despite assurances from the hospital's top brass that the matter is on their radar.
I don't want to say I don't want to pay, but also I don't have that money. The little ahead, because this we didn't see this coming, because our insurance we knew our insurance will cater for the CS.
At their home in Athi River, Machakos County, home does not feel like home again for the father of 4. It is a shell of its former self, and the grueling weight of this family to reunite is palpable. Here, what was meant to be a homemade nursery for the 4 infants after being discharged from hospital has remained deserted, deprived of the usual gentle cries of newborn infants that will otherwise be rending the air.
Life have become difficult, but I'm happy for the blessings. I'm not saying about I'm not complaining, and I'm happy. God has blessed us with those 4 boys. It's not easy, and what I pray God is to bring my people back.
in our attempt to speak to Adhiambo, whom according to her husband Charles Chalo is in a stable condition. The hospital's Deputy Chief Executive Officer Mohammed Amin declined to let us interview her nor give us updates on the mother and her 4 sons' condition. David Muthoka, TV47, Nairobi.
Quite a sad story there by our very own David Muthoka. We do hope well-wishers will come on board to clear that medical bill. 10 students from Kirobon Girls High School in Rongai, Nakuru County will spend the night in the coal cells of Menengai Police Station after they were found in possession of cannabis sativa, otherwise known as bang. The girls aged between 15 to 17 were later taken to a local hospital for a drug test as investigations continue. Confirming the incident, Nakuru County Deputy Police Commander Joseph Tanui said the 10 were arrested after they received tip-off by the school principal as their parents point an accusing finger at the school management. The parents now want the girls to be released.
With cannabis sativa, that is bang, in the school by the principal, Ms. Ruth Mwangi, who said, who reported the matter to the police in Rongai. Moved to the school and arrested the 10 girls, and they were taken in custody. They were also taken to the hospital to conduct a test of the drug abuse that they had, and the case is still under investigation as of now while you are talking.
Tuliwatoa hapa tukawapeleka hospitali, hawajafuta bangi, sasa hatujui wanafiktimaiziwa kwa nini. Hii shule ni shule kubwa, iko na structures mzuri, iko na walimu wazuri, lakini kuanzia asubuhi mpaka jioni ni cases tu. Cases tu, watoto hawafundishwi vizuri. Mini grade ni 0. Hakuna siku, hakuna mwaka watoto wamepita hii shule.
Hata kama watoto wanafanya makosa, haina haki kudhulumiwa jinsi wanavyodhulumiwa. Kupigwa kama waizi, kupigwa vibaya sana, kiwango ambacho hata mimi kama mzazi na hawa wazazi wengine uwezi mpatia discipline kiwango hicho.
Watoto wetu they are not smoking cannabis or bangi. Tumeambiwa tukuje hapa shule tuchukue watoto. Sasa tumefika hapa kwa gate. Wamefunga gate. Wanasema twende tungoje watoto nyumbani. Na tumekataa. Tumesema hatutoki mpaka watupatie watoto wetu.
Well, it is time to take another short commercial break, but we'll be back with more. Stay tuned.
They say the way to the heart is through the stomach. This month of love, Throwdown shares with you those amazing food ideas for that candlelit dinner and picnic date. Learn those dining etiquette and avoid those embarrassing moments every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. What's the perfect way to kickstart your day in the morning? Well, apart from having a healthy breakfast, the Morning Cafe is all you need. We will inform you on what's happening on the roads, dive deeper into the newspapers, alongside heated political debates.
What I have to fight the order. Yes. Order.
Did you know that your greatest wealth is health?
Then we start eating right, and that's what I do in my clinic.
With some good Friday vibes. The Morning Cafe with Linda Alela, Monday to Friday, from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Only on TV47. On the grind, we bring you different entrepreneurs who give the story of their businesses with love and passion.
I'm a musician forever. This is something that is
inborn.
It excites me each day. It's a field that has always excited me.
Because when you show love to your business, it will show love to you.
The most rewarding bit of being a photographer is seeing a bride able to see her images of her wedding and evoke emotion in her and just relive the moment once again.
Get to hear these stories and so much more every Monday at 7:30 p.m. On Coffee with Movie, we bring you great testimonies from amazing personalities.
Mwanzo wa kwanza alikaa ndani ilikuwa intense because alikuwa alikuwa atafuta place atawaka akifanya thesis zake.
Stories that will inspire and encourage you.
Hiyo kitu ilisha waswa ni clap. Sheila told us this is what we've been looking for.
And some that will even make you laugh out loud.
You have chapa kawa ya kutuliza temperature kabla hiyo story.
Na wewe kuleta mandazi bro.
Mbona ingeandikwa coffee and mandazi?
Aya! Make sure you catch the episodes of Coffee with Movie every Sunday at 8 p.m. Love is friendship. That the home of untold stories.
Welcome back. You are watching News Tonight here on TV 47. President Uhuru Kenyatta has today met members of his cabinet to discuss several bills and policies as part of the government's post-COVID-19 economic recovery plan. Some of the bills that were discussed in the cabinet meeting include Children Bill 2020 that seeks to address the increased vulnerability of children in the country. The cabinet noting that the newly unveiled competency-based curriculum in schools will provide children with a safe space to explore themselves. The cabinet also discussed the Universities Amendment Act 2021, which is seeking to entrench the ethos of good governance in Kenya's institutions of higher learning. The cabinet also discussed the Universities Amendment Act. Other approved bills include the Public-Private Partnerships Bill 2021, the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Amendment Bill 2020, the Universities Amendment Bill 2020, the National Sustainable Waste Management Policy and Bill 2020, and the Community Groups Registration Bill 2019. DP Ruto was part of the meeting. Residents of Kaini village in Kandara sub-county in Murang'a County have cried out to the government to control a swarm of locusts that has attacked their farms since Tuesday. The residents have expressed fears that locusts will make it impossible to till their farms in preparations for the long rains.
Residents of Kahaine village in Kandara sub-county in Murang'a County have cried out to the government to control a swarm of locusts that has attacked their farms. The residents have expressed fears that the locusts will make it impossible to till their farms in preparations for the long rains. In the village, a dark cloud of the pest hovered under the skies, darkening the area.
Na ziko nyingi kabisa. Hata hungeona mchanga, lakini sasa zimeanza kuondoka kidogo, lakini zinahamahama zikirudi.
Locals could be seen standing in groups watching helplessly as the swarm migrated from one home to the other. Samuel Kamau Mwaura said the swarm arrived in his farm on Tuesday, creating a green and noisy cover.
Funika hata jua. Asia kama mvua inaanguka.
Sasa tunaelekea wakati wa kupanda vyakula, tungeomba serikali iwapunguze kwa sababu tukipanda vyakula na wawe wakiendelea kuweko, sisi tutaumia njaa. na sisi tunaomba serikali iandamane na hawa pahali popote wanapoenda.
And when he walks into his farm, the locusts fly away, making a sound like rainfall. Locals depend on avocados to make a living, he said, and expressed concerns that the locusts could thrust them into poverty if they are not urgently controlled. But as the farmers stare at a bleak future, dogs are having a feast and spend the days running after the pests. Locusts were reported in the country in December 2019 when the first swarm crossed the border from Kenya to Somalia on December 28, 2019, with more swarms streaming from Ethiopia. In a report released by Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, on December 23rd, small immature swarms are declining in the northern and central countries. The report indicates that multiple reports of the same highly mobile swarms continue to be reported in various countries, adding that there are no reports of the swarms arriving from Somalia. FAO said a few small swarms moved from southern Kenya to northeast Tanzania, where they were reported near Mount Kilimanjaro in Arusha, Tanzania, and that an aircraft has been deployed from Kenya to control them.
The government has put on notice contractors delaying the completion of projects. Foreign Affairs Principal Secretary Ambassador Macharia Kamau, while touring several national government projects in Trans Nzoia County, also defended the ongoing countrywide inspection tours, as Boniface Barasa now reports.
Leading the delegation on an inspection tour, Ambassador Kamau said the ongoing national government projects across the country faces a major setback of laxity from the contractors, as he called on contractors to move with speed in completing the undertaken projects under the stipulated time frame.
The inspection has been very fruitful. It has allowed us to get an even better understanding of the situation on the ground, particularly where we see laxity from contractors. And really, this problem of laxity of contractors is a common thread that we have seen throughout the country. And really, we are going to have to re-insist that the engineers and the oversight government officials must insist on exercising oversight over these contractors and extracting compliance to timelines.
Kamau also expressed his satisfaction in the way the railway line is being constructed, citing out that the Kitale railway line will be completed by August, a move that will restore the lost glory of the town and revamping the country's economy.
We are expecting that we'll be seeing the completion of the railway in August. And if we can open up that railway by August, you can imagine what, yes, I mean really it should transform the economy once again to bring Kitale back to its glory. You know, this was a glorious town. It used to be a fundamental part of the growth and the transformation of Kenya. So we would love to see Kitale retain its glorious history. We've just seen that happen with the Nakuru-Kisumu railway. It's now done. There is no reason why we should not be able to do this.
Among the projects that were inspected is the revamping and recarpeting of Kitale airstrip that cost the taxpayer approximately Kenya shillings 221 million, construction of Kitale Endebe Swam Road that will cost 4.5 billion shillings, Kolongolo Kiptogot Water project at a tune of 1 billion shillings, and the revamping of the railway line.
The three projects are Kitale airstrip that is under construction, is being rehabilitated or improved. Then Kitale Swam Road and Kiptogot Kolongolo Water Project.
PS Kamau was accompanied by his counterparts, Julius Korir of Devolution and Planning Saitoti Torome. Boniface Barasa, TV47, Trans Nzoia County.
Now, during the previous lockdown in Rwanda, e-commerce was largely a new concept for most in the local market, with most of the firms still in the beginner stage and clients unsure of whether it works adequately. E-commerce platforms, however, are now seeing an increase in demand for their services following the second lockdown in Kigali City. Diana Iriza reports.
All factors that have prevented e-commerce from taking off have taken a backseat during this pandemic. E-commerce has worked well for physical distancing, contactless transactions, among other things prescribed to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. For Rwandans who previously displayed skepticism of buying online have now taken the first step to experience it. Speaking to Albert Munyabujingo, CEO of Vuba Vuba, an e-commerce business that operates in Kigali and Musanze, Rwanda, shares with us how quickly Rwandans have adapted to the new home delivery e-commerce system.
If I look at this same sector 10 years ago, I would say it was almost non-existent in Rwanda. It being a new tool, I would say actually during lockdown, the government really pushed a lot for people to understand that they need to refrain from crowded places. And as it's actually hard to acquire the first customer, but once someone has used us, they actually trained to be using us quite more often. Especially during lockdown, people were not allowed to move in different places. The only savior they had was either they call the shop directly to deliver to them, or they use technology with online services.
Despite the progression in e-commerce in Rwanda, Albert continues to share that the company does face a few challenges, such as not being able to locate customers' homes, especially for customers living in areas with infrastructure challenges.
Demand was quite high, so we had to onboard more delivery guys, more people dealing with customer orders in operations. And if you look at the infrastructures in Rwanda, we still face that even up to date. And then our customers have understood that we've gave them an option. If you don't know the street number where you live, you can actually turn your location on and let us locate you through the app. And then we've trained our delivery riders to follow the location they've received. So I'll say it really hasn't been a huge challenge for the couple of months since we started.
Local Rwandan stakeholders have looked into ways to further make the most of the opportunities in the e-commerce sector. Among the aspects that are likely to drive growth of the e-commerce in Rwanda is the emergence of warehouse services that will further formalize operations and allow operators to improve delivery of goods. Diana Iriza, Kigali, Rwanda.
Well, it's time to take another short break, but we'll be back with more. Stay tuned.
They say the way to the heart is through the stomach. This month of love, Throwdown shares with you those amazing food ideas for that candlelit dinner and picnic date. Learn those dining etiquette and avoid those embarrassing moments every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. What's the perfect way to kickstart your day in the morning? Well, apart from having a healthy breakfast, the Morning Cafe is all you need. We will inform you on what's happening on the roads, dive deeper into the newspapers, alongside heated political debates.
I have to fight the order. Yes. Order.
Did you know that your greatest wealth is health?
Then we start eating right, and that's what I do in my clinic.
With some good Friday vibes. The Morning Cafe with Linda Alela, Monday to Friday, from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Only on TV 47. On the Grind, we bring you different entrepreneurs who give the story of their businesses with love and passion.
I'm a musician forever. This is something that is inborn.
It excites me each day. It's a field that has always excited me.
Because when you show love to your business, it will show love